Black pearls are a vital crafting resource in Ark Survival Evolved. In this guide, I'm going to show you the 6 best ways in which to harvest black pearl. At number 6 on the list, we have getting black pearls from creatures. For the difficulty, I'm going to say this is high, because for the easy creatures to kill like a trilobite, it's frustrating and time consuming to get a lot of pearls. You can get a lot more for alpha creatures, but this is quite difficult to do. You might be thinking, if the difficulty is high and the yield not so great, why put this in the list at all? It's important to note that for some maps, like the Island and Scorched Earth, the only way to get black pearls is to kill these creatures and harvest them. Here is a list of all the creatures that drop black pearl. The first creature is the trilobite. When you kill a trilobite, there's a small chance that it will drop some black pearl for you. They're found in the shallow waters of the ocean, and the easiest way to harvest them is just by killing them with a melee tool, or a Diplocolus has a special ability of doing extra damage to trilobites. Trilobites drop between either 1 or 2 black pearl for each one. Next on the list is the Riptrid. These are like sea scorpions or evil lobsters. I do not recommend taking these on with a melee weapon because they inflict very large amounts of torpor and will knock you out. And once you're knocked out, they'll kill you. You need to use a creature instead, and the creatures that I recommend to harvest these are the frog, the Beelzebufo. The frogs do increase damage to the Riptrids, and they have decent torpor. You just need to watch out for stamina and weight. The other creature I recommend is the Ichthyosaurus, or the dolphin. Dolphins are really fast swimmers. They're not very strong in terms of their melee, but they have the ability of not being able to be knocked out. They are completely immune to torpor damage, so they're a great team to try and take on a bunch of lobsters. Just again, watch your stamina and weight. Euryptrids will drop between 1 to 5 black pearls per one. The next creature is the giant squid, or the Tusoteuthis. Now, Tusos are found really deep in the ocean, and it takes quite a lot of work to kill these guys. Tusos are some of the toughest things to fight in the Ark oceans. They're found really deep, and I highly recommend bringing a pair of mate boosted basils or another Tuso to fight them with. On the map Ragnarock, there's a great area to farm squids around the artifact of the Devourer, which is deep in the ocean. When harvesting, I got somewhere between 30 to 40 black pearls per squid. I'm not sure if it depends on level or not. If you would like to take on an alpha Tuso, do so very carefully. They have a lot of HP and can deal a lot of damage. It's a long fight. I'm using a high level squid with a good saddle. Once killed, an alpha squid will always guaranteed drop 75 black pearls. The creature that drops the most black pearls is actually the Alpha Mosa. Again, these are quite a lot of work to kill. I would either use a high level Tuso, another high level Mosa, or here I am using a bred and imprinted Basilosaurus with a mate boosted partner. Once you kill the Alpha Mosa, it will drop a total of guaranteed 100 black pearl. Another creature that has a chance of dropping black pearls is the deathworms and alpha deathworms. Deathworms are found in the ice cave on Ragnarok and on the deserts of Lost Island, Ragnarock, and Scorched Earth. But if you are playing on the map Scorched Earth, this is the only way to obtain black pearl. The best way to take them down is with a wyvern. They're also very attracted to wyverns as well. It's important to note that even with a wyvern, this can be a tough fight, so it's more of an endgame item. When you kill them, there's only a chance that they will drop black pearl because they often drop other resources like leech blood and angler gel. And when harvesting, I got between 4 and 8 black pearl. On the extinction map, if you kill corrupted rexes, wyverns and gigas, you also have a chance of harvesting black pearl. Black pearls are also part of the rewards for the red and purple drops, so doing an OSD can get you quite a lot. On Genesis 2, although not a creature, the Carniflora plant will drop black pearls. Harvest them with a chainsaw to get the most black pearls. When harvesting, go for the smaller Carniflora plants that are found in bunches. Don't go for the larger, paler ones because they will pick you up and knock you out. Coming in at number 5 is the Blue Lagoon on the map Lost Island. This is extremely low difficulty, it's the best beginner spot, and it has a medium yield. It's located in the volcano biome and you'll see nearby steam chutes. It is located at 39.6 and 64.4. Park at the edge of the lake and bring yourself a dino that can carry quite a bit of weight. You can either use an Argentavis or maybe a weight wyvern. The lake is not very deep, so even if you don't have scuba, you can still get black pearl. Swim out into the middle of the lake and you'll see the black pearl clam shells at the bottom. You can pick them up with your hand. You get between 18 and 20 per node. Watch your weight, because if you get too heavy, you won't be able to swim to the top unless you throw some out. Return to your Argentavis and deposit the Black Pearl. Obviously, if you have a scuba set, you'll swim a lot faster and you don't have to worry about your oxygen levels. You still need to worry about weight though. So I have harvested every Black Pearl node in the lake and have been storing them in my Argentavis. If we look over there and add the last batch, we have 383 Black Pearl, which is a lot for a really, really easy spot. Coming in at number 4 is the black clam shells that are located on Crystal Isles. The black clam shells are located in the water orbs on the Aldridge Isles, which is in the northeast corner of the map. I'll rate this as a medium high to harvest and medium for difficulty. The clams containing the black pearls are located in the large orbs that are connected to the ground, not the ones floating in the air. I am located at one here at 24.4 and 67.6. Before we get started with this, I want to give a PSA about using a anglerfish to harvest black pearls. When it comes to black pearl harvesting, you cannot use an angler, which harvests normal silica pearls, to harvest the ones in the ocean. However, these water orbs are an exception. I use a mount to press up against the orb, then dismount and edge my way in. Be really careful once you get in, look for threats. A lot of these are filled with nasty creatures, but this one here is empty. Once you're inside the ball, equip your scuba tank so that you don't drown, and then you can throw out your anglerfish. You don't need a saddle to ride these. Jump on and swim around the ball. Use it to harvest these black clam shells that are located inside the ball. As you can see, from that one we got 22. We're getting roughly 20 to 25 black pearls per clam. The central ball there will give you stun shocks. Continue harvesting the black pearl clams until your anglerfish is pretty encumbered. Then you need to swim it to the outer edge of the orb. I like to position an Argentavis or weight wyvern right up against the orb and then swim back in. Then position it so you can access the inventory of the anglerfish. Take the pearls out, swivel around, and place them into the inventory of your Argentavis. If you haven't harvested all the clams yet, jump back on your anglerfish and continue harvesting until you've got them all. Once done, cryo out your anglerfish. Then you can jump on your Argentavis. Now, looking at the amount that we harvested for this session, we got 451 black pearls just from that orb alone. The better the angle you have, the better the harvesting, so keep that in mind. You need to keep in mind that not all of these orbs are empty and full of clam shells. This one is completely full of threats. There are clams in there, but there are also lots of nasties as well. So peeking in, you can see there are jellyfish, eels, piranhas, all sorts of nasties. So I would avoid these orbs as much as you can because there's a lot to fight in here just to get the black pearls. If you do want to take it in, what I recommend do is baiting the creatures to the edge of the orb and using a wyvern with an element breath to damage them while they're inside the orb still. Coming in at number 3, we have using the mining drill to harvest black pearl. The absolute best spot to use the mining drill is on the Aberration radioactive area near the Rock Drake Trench. To find this area, head down the spine to the Pink Rivers. On the side of the Pink River, you'll see lots and lots of black pearl nodes. The ground is literally covered with hundreds of them. So I've headed down to the radiation area. I'm here on the map. The coordinates are 66.3 and 52.1. Do not be fooled though, this is quite a difficult area. I bring along a high level rock drake that has a lot of points put into the weight category so it can carry a lot. I also throw a few points into melee because you will often have to fight a lot of drakes and clear out the area before you can start harvesting the black pearls. You can get swarmed, so be careful. Another tip is to make sure that you have a light pet with you and that it's switched on, because otherwise the nameless will spawn and attack you. Once you have cleared out the threats, do a double check around to make sure there are no more. Equip the mining drill and harvest the black pearl nodes. And as you can see, we're getting just over 23 black pearls per node here. I have myself encumbered now, so I'm going to head back to the drake. I'm carrying about 70-ish black pearls. I always carry a spare set of hazard gear as well. Deposit the black pearl in your drake's inventory. That's why it's important to have points put into weight. Just move around and continue to harvest all of the black pearl nodes in the area. You can pick them up by hand, but the mining drill is the fastest and gets you a little bit more per node. So I have probably spent 5 to 10 minutes in this area. I've had to fight a few more drakes, and I have harvested a lot more of the black pearl nodes. So in the few minutes that I've been harvesting this area, I have 492 black pearls, which is a lot. An important tip is not to over encumber your drake or you won't be able to climb up out of the radiation area. I usually climb up out of the area and head to an area in the blue or green zone. I'll drop off the black pearl there in a vault or deady storage and then head back down to farm some more. And you can literally get thousands of pearls in this session. So for this area, I'm going to give it a difficulty of high because you need a lot of equipment to get it, but the yield is also very, very high. A good beginner way to use the mining drill to get black pearl is on Genesis 2 in the space biome when the black pearls are present. However, I found that per node, even with the mining drill, the numbers are quite low. I feel like if you're looking for an easy spot, you're better off just going to the lagoon on Lost Island. The number 2 spot for harvesting black pearl is located on Ragnarock in the waters near Green Ob. This spot is one of the easiest and it's medium to high yield, but if you bring a certain creature, you can get a massive amount of black pearls here. These black pearls are located in shallow waters on the southwest coast. The area in the water containing the black pearls spans from about 66.8 and 21.3 to 72.2 and 23.6. Head into the water with scuba. You don't need a water mount, but if you have one, you can bring it along for safety or to help with storing the pearls. Swim along the bottom of this big area and you'll see lots of batches of pearls. There are regular silica pearls, as well as the black variety, and you can harvest these by hand. They are all over the floor, so make sure you swim around the whole area. The main threats in the area are megalodons and mantas. Another thing to watch out for is being over encumbered. Black pearls are really heavy, so make sure that you've got enough weight left so that you can swim. It's a good idea to store the black pearls in a box or in a tame while you harvest the other nodes. So harvesting this entire area by hand gave us 452 black pearls. That's with a melee of 105. It is not widely known, but the tech striders can walk on the ocean floor and they have no oxygen stat. So if you have one of these that you got from Gen 2, I suggest bringing it over here to harvest black pearls with. Make sure it has the harvesting attachment, and even better, if it has the saddlebags, you get a weight reduction for resources. So walk or swim along the ocean floor and use the harvesting beam to gather the pearl nodes. You will also get lots of other resources that you may need to drop. You can avoid this by linking it to a black pearl dedicated storage. There is an oxygen bar. That is actually not the oxygen stat of the strider, that is its battery effectiveness. The other stat you need to watch out for is the stamina. Make sure you don't run out. This strider was linked to the dedicated storage box here, and as you can see, we harvested 1,050 pearls. That's all the same nodes that we did by hand. You don't have to have the dedicated storage nearby, you just have to have the strider linked to the dedicated storage. You can do that back at base before you head out to harvest. And now the number one way to harvest black pearl in Ark is using a gacha. Gachas are found in the sunken forest on the extinction map, and they're also found on the map Fjordor in the Vanaheim realm and also in the Asgard realm. Taming gachas is easy, and essentially they give you an infinite supply of black pearl. To tame a gacha, you feed it by dropping items in front of it. It collects them and eats them. Some of its favorite taming foods are greenhouse structures, metal structures, and tech structures, but I tend to get pretty lazy and just harvest stone and throw that out for it if you want to be really, really easy. After you tame it, you need to figure out what rare resource it spawns. So you open up the production menu on the radial wheel, and on the far left middle one, that is the rare resource, and if you tame the black pearl one, it will show up there. Whether or not the gacha has black pearl or your desired resource, keep them around, especially the females, because what you can do is breed them to get the resources that you want. So here I have 3 female gachas breeding with 1 male. The reason I recommend breeding them is that the offspring do not inherit the same production as their parents. It's a randomly generated wheel. This means that you can use the breeding gacha mechanic to get the gachas that you desire, if you want a metal one, an element one, or in this case a black pearl one. So how I use the gacha is that I basically passively generate black pearls. After doing a metal run, I'll just dump all of the stone into the inventory of the gacha. It will throw out crystals, I'll open those, get the black pearls, and pop them into a dedicated storage. Now this won't give you thousands of them right away, but basically I do that when I'm doing meta runs, I'm doing breeding, I'm just passively collecting the crystals and storing them into the dedicated storage. And over time, you'll generate thousands of black pearls, which you can just use as you need them. So I've put lots of work and research into this video, and if you appreciated the information, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments if I missed your favorite method of gathering black pearls. And if you like this video, check out the 6 best ways to harvest organic polymer.